Some of the most powerful stories never make the front page. They unfold in silence. They bloom in struggle. And they remind us that you don't have to be famous to be unforgettable. These are 10 inspiring people you've probably never heard of, but you'll never forget them after this. 1. Irena Sendler, the woman who smuggled hope. During World War II, a young Polish social worker risked her life to save over 2,500 Jewish children from the Warsaw Ghetto. Irena Sendler used fake IDs, secret codes, and even hid children in toolboxes to rescue them from death. She was arrested, tortured, and still never gave up any names. She called herself ordinary. History calls her a hero. 2. Dashrath Manjhi, the mountain man. When his wife died due to lack of medical care, Dashrath Manjhi made a decision. He grabbed a hammer and chisel, and began carving a road through a mountain. 22 years later, alone and with no help, he finished a 110-meter-long path that connected his village to the nearest hospital. One man. One mountain. One miracle. 3. Claudette Colvin, the teen who sat first. Before Rosa Parks, there was Claudette Colvin. At just 15 years old, she refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Alabama. She was arrested, threatened, and largely forgotten. But her courage sparked the legal case that ended bus segregation. Sometimes, revolution begins with a schoolgirl and a spark of fire. 4. Chiune Sugihara, the visa for life. In 1940, a Japanese diplomat stationed in Lithuania faced a choice: obey orders, or save lives. Chiune Sugihara chose humanity. He handwrote over 2,000 visas to help Jewish families escape the Holocaust, even as his government warned him to stop. He signed visas for 18 hours a day. He saved thousands. He died with little recognition. Today, we remember. 5. Banwari Devi, the woman who said no. In rural India, Banwari Devi fought against child marriage. For her activism, she was assaulted, but refused to stay silent. Her case sparked a national movement for workplace safety for women in India. She had no law degree, no microphone, no protection. Just a voice, and she used it. 6. Ignaz Semmelweis, the hand-washing hero. In 1847, a Hungarian doctor noticed something strange: women were dying less when doctors washed their hands. He begged his colleagues to adopt hygiene. They laughed at him. He was ridiculed, institutionalized, and died forgotten. Today, hand-washing saves millions of lives, and we owe it to the man they once called mad. 7. Rick Rescorla, the voice that saved hundreds. On September 11, 2001, as panic spread through the World Trade Center, one man's voice cut through the fear. Rick Rescorla, a retired soldier turned security chief, had predicted an attack, and prepared drills for years. When it happened, he led over 2,700 people to safety. He went back in. And never came out. True leadership means running toward the danger. 8. William Kamkwamba, the boy who harnessed the wind. In a drought-stricken village in Malawi, a 14-year-old boy dropped out of school because his family couldn't afford tuition. So he went to a library, read a science book, and built a wind turbine from scrap. His invention brought electricity to his home, and hope to his village. William Kamkwamba proves genius needs no permission. 9. Dr. Ruth Pfau, the mother of the forgotten. She was a German nun and doctor who traveled to Pakistan and stayed for life. Drive. Ruth Pfau dedicated over 50 years to treating leprosy, a disease few dared to touch. Thanks to her, Pakistan was declared leprosy-controlled before most developed nations. Where others saw stigma, she saw souls. 10. Temple Grandin, the mind that thinks differently. Born with autism in the 1940s, Temple Grandin was told she'd never speak. She did more than speak. She revolutionized animal welfare in agriculture and became a global voice for neurodivergent people. Temple didn't just break stereotypes, she redesigned the system. Different isn't broken. It's brilliant. The world is full of quiet heroes. People who didn't wait for permission to make a difference. People who remind us that courage isn't always loud. Now that you've heard their names, pass them on. Because sometimes, the most powerful stories are the ones we whisper into the future. Share this video. Inspire someone today.